Star Wars Revenge of the Sith isn't your ordinary movie. It's an ambitious, bold and complex work of art that somehow manages to conclude a saga that went on for almost 30 years. While the film has its flaws, the opening sequence includes everything you could ask for and sets up the film's tragic ending in ways that isn't talked about enough. In my opinion, it's extremely underrated. Let's delve into why it should blow your mind.
This is where the fun begins.
Right from the very beginning, George Lucas does what he does best by throwing us straight into the action with Anakin and Kenobi going after the kidnapped Chancellor. This shot alone, every time I watch it, of introducing the Battle of Coruscant makes my jaw drop. Not necessarily because it's beautiful, rather as a result of it, in a matter of a few seconds, manages to capture the immense scale of this cosmic conflict between the Separatist alliances and the Galactic Republic. The level of detail astonishes me, with battleships and explosions everywhere and the city planet of Coruscant in the background. Even today, when you experience this epic opening scene, it still holds up, and it's easy to unsee that this movie was released back in 2005. Just comparing it to other big blockbuster films from that year like King Kong, Batman Begins, Fantastic Four or Narnia makes the achievement even more exceptional, because I don't think any of these other pictures comes close to the groundbreaking CGI in Revenge of the Sith.
R4, be careful, you have a... Oh dear.
The opening minutes also manages to get the main characters in Anakin and Kenobi completely right. The chemistry between them is hilarious, brotherly-like, and therefore just spot on.
I sense a trap.
Next move?
Spring the trap.
Some of Star Wars' most iconic lines of dialogue gets said in these opening 20 minutes, with both these Jedi Knights and especially General Grievous taking center stage.
General Grievous. You're shorter than I expected.
Jedi scum!
We have a job to do, Anakin. Try not to upset him.
No loose wire jokes.
Did I say anything?
He's trying.
I didn't say anything.
Twice the pride, double the fall.
Chancellor Palpatine, Sith Lords are our specialty.
See? No problem.
Always on the move.
Do it.
Hold your fire, you're not helping here!
I agree. Bad idea.
R2, activate the elevator number
31174.
Now, that's better.
Your lightsabers will make a fine addition to my collection.
What I'm trying to convey is the fact that this opening sequence perfectly captures the essence of a Star Wars adventure. It's fast-paced storytelling that includes great action, thrilling lightsaber fighting, funny moments and unique characters, while it simultaneously tries to convey a more profound message entangled within the gray areas of good versus evil. And that brings us to the most important moment of this opening sequence: the choice.
Kill him. Kill him now.
Anakin's turn to the dark side were something that had been foreshadowed throughout the entire trilogy, most distinctively when his mother dies. Yet his decision to listen to the Chancellor and brutally murder Count Dooku is the moment that truly sets the wheels in motion for his mental decline. It's once again a brilliantly symbolic story choice, because George Lucas puts Anakin in a similar position as Luke in Return of the Jedi.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
He could choose to spare his opponent's life, because death isn't the way of his teachings, or he could wipe out one of the most evil creatures in the universe for the so-called greater good. Obviously, Luke chooses the path of forgiveness and love, while Anakin chooses the opposite, and it would haunt him for the rest of his life.
I shouldn't have done that. It's not the Jedi way.
It is only natural. He cut off your arm, and you wanted revenge. It wasn't the first time, Anakin.
It's these small lines of dialogue that I think George gets totally right, gradually setting up what's to come with Sidious getting into Anakin's head. Yet the Chosen One also gets represented from his good side here, expressing loyalty and determination, which is qualities that made him a good friend and a formidable Jedi.
We must get off this ship before it's too late.
He seems to be all right.
Leave him or we'll never make it.
His fate will be the same as ours.
In a sense, it's a last hurrah for many of these characters before everything descends into chaos. It's the last quote-unquote normal day on the job for R2, Kenobi and Anakin. Nearly the last day Sidious has to hide his true intentions, and one of the final moments General Grievous gets to breathe fresh air.
After the Jedi Knights thwarted an attempt to kidnap Chancellor Palpatine, the evil droid General Grievous retreated to the Outer Rim.
After watching Clone Wars, it gets even more exciting because there is so many stories behind this last mission. If you think about it, those approximately 20 minutes very much feels like an episode from that show, and I have no doubt that George had this in mind when later writing the actual animated series. That's one detail that's quite easy to forget when a movie has been around for so long, and it's that George had to create all of this from scratch. Today the Clone Wars feels natural and undeniable, because we have seen those movies so many times, and more content like the Clone Wars series that further elevates it. In reality, this all stemmed from his head and begun as one line of dialogue in A New Hope.
You fought in the Clone Wars? Yes. I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father.
It's truly an achievement to behold, and the opening sequence expresses this to perfection. From the crawl to the moment the destroyed Star Cruiser crash lands on the ground of Coruscant.
Another happy landing.
Revenge of the Sith is by far my favorite Star Wars movie, but it took a while before I began to reminisce why that was the case. I grew up with the Clone Wars animated series, and that's probably a big reason for why I gravitated towards the prequels and especially its grandiose conclusion with Episode 3. Yet this opening is what drew me in, that created the love I feel for this movie, and it's because of all the big and small details I have mentioned in this video, which in turn made Anakin slowly shift to the dark side. Here is another video about the Chosen One that compares him in the Clone Wars versus live action. Let me know what you think of Revenge of the Sith's opening sequence in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you will have a great day.